Detroit Lions are one of those teams that you take a look at and, you look at their depth chart and you think, okay, well, they got some work to do. Well, I don't disagree with that inclination at the very beginning, but also let's keep in mind, I mean, they beat the Vikings last year. They beat my Vikings. So this team, I don't think it's that far off. I think in a couple years it could be a very, very competitive team and a scary team, especially if they hit at the quarterback position. But right now, as we head into the 2022 NFL draft, there's some questions regarding every NFL team right now. But I think one of the biggest ones for the Lions is, who's going to play quarterback. Obviously, Jared Goff is kind of their stopgap player, and obviously they're going to draft a quarterback of the future or possibly sign one in free agency. I don't know, most likely the draft. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this goes. But for right now, what we can do is we can know, and talk about the top 5 draft needs for the Detroit Lions and really just see where it goes from there. And I think the draft need number 1 here really is quarterback. I think that's really easy to see. Now, this is not in order in which they should draft. I think they have the number 2 overall pick. I like Kayvon Thibodeau. Here's the thing. Thibodeau, I've seen him go number 1 overall. I've seen Evan Neal go first overall. Like there's a lot of different things going on here. Here's the thing. I really like the Lions offensive line. I think they've got a good offense. It's better than the Vikings. Like it's actually a pretty solid offensive line, pretty much all around. But is there some places they could improve on? Yes. But I think for overall right now, I like their offensive line. Here's the question for me though. Obviously I think more of the questions rely, other than the quarterback positions, they lie more on the defensive side of the football. This team is up and coming. They've got a good tight end. They've got DeAndre Swift, who I think is a very underrated running back in this league. They've got a respectable offensive line. Quintez Cephas and Amon-Ra Brown on the outside, playing a wide receiver. So there's some talent here. There really is some talent here, and I'm really excited to see what the future does bring for him. But overall, I think right now the biggest question is quarterback. Who you going to have as your future signal caller, and I think that's the biggest question moving forward now. In terms of where they'll draft, I think at the end of the first round there with the Rams' first-round pick, I think I would not have a problem with them getting a guy like Desmond Ridder. Kenny Pickett's not falling that far, I'm sorry. But even maybe a guy like Carson Strong in the second round, who knows? I really feel like there's a lot of good quarterbacks after the top 15 picks in this draft class. Even some guys in the second and third round where I'm like, okay, it would be interesting. So I think obviously they're going to do their homework. They're going to look at who they think is best and move on from there. But make no mistake, I feel like the biggest draft need for the Lions right now is quarterback. Again, Jared Goff going to be that stopgap guy, and see where they go from there. So most important position in the league, is quarterback, and I think they're going to figure that out moving forward. And it's the number 1 draft need. Draft need number 2 is corner. I struggled with this one because I felt like you got needs at linebacker, defensive line. And there's a couple of other things. Obviously, we'll get into the rest of those and where they fall in line. But I feel like the Lions are one of those teams that, you drafted Jeff Okudah a couple years ago. You're kind of wondering what you got in him. And you're also thinking, okay, you've also got some respectable players. Tracy Walker III, I think, had over I'm trying to think off the top of my head, over like a 65 PFF grade. Yeah, I think it was a 65.1. You've also got guys, and I never ever announce one of these guys' names right. I want to say it's Amani Oroweri. Sorry, the former Penn State Lion. There we go. Former 5th-round pick by the Lions back in the 2019 as well. Had 6 picks last year. So I mean, you like overall where this secondary is heading, but I don't think that you can ever have enough good corners. So or secondary for that matter. Will Harris was respectable, but again, I think the biggest question here is Jeff Okudah. I think you could still salvage him. I think he still could be a very good player in this league and go a very long ways. But I think at the end of the day, you need to take a serious look at your corner room, because it is a passer, get the passer, and cover the thrower to. It's become a league where the quarterback, defensive, and corner positions are very important. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like if they can continue to get after the passer, get some help on the corner, on the edges, at corner on the edges, I think this could be a very respectable defense moving forward. So again, not too late for Jeff Okudah. I feel like it's not. You don't give up on him yet. I feel like, yes, we've seen some not so good years from him so far. His rookie year wasn't awful, but also the second year, I think it was injury, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I think moving forward, they need to take a serious look at Jeff Okudah, get him in the right system, get him comfortable, get him confident again, because when he's confident, when he's playing at his top ability, He's a bad man. He is a bad man. He can do a lot of good things for your defense, and I think he can completely shut down one side of the field for the Lions in the future. Don't give up on him yet, Lions fans. I think he's going to be a really good player for you. Lions drafting number 3, I think, is D-line. I love me some Aleem McNeil. This boy, he's going to be a bad man moving forward, and I think you've got a lot of excitement. Here's the thing about the Lions, especially with the way they beat the Vikings last year. They play for Dan Campbell. They play for him. They are fired up to play for him. And I think, you got guys like Michael Brockers, Aleem McNeil, Trey Flowers. I think Romeo Okora, did he go down? I can't remember. But overall, what I'm trying to say is I feel like they need to really bring off some guys off the edge. I think they're more of a 3-4 defense at this point. I think I would really like to see them. Levi and Wuzariki was a guy I was really impressed with, but I think overall they really need to focus on their D-line. Aleem McNeil is a lock right now, but other than that, I think, you could see a guy like Levi and Wuzariki step up. And I think it also does not ever hurt to have another pass rusher, whether that's an edge player or a D-line player that can go get the passer. That's the biggest thing in this league is being able to just put constant pressure on the opposing quarterback and just see where that lies. So I think defensive line is another one. Stopping the run, have a guy in the middle there that can just take up blockers and let them do their thing. So I think Aleem McNeil is going to be a big part of that. I think Levi and Wuzariki is going to be a big part of that. But after that, I've got my questions, to be honest with you. So I think they need to go after some defensive linemen late in the probably 3rd round. I'm so big on Noah Ellis. Can you imagine Noah Ellis in the middle there? Oh man, he would be a bad man. 6'4", 360. Oh man, just taking up blockers. Oh, I love it. But overall, the Lions are going to figure out their defensive line position, and I think that's going to be a big thing for their defense moving forward. Lions drafting number 4, linebacker. Alex Anzalone, I think. I never get his name right either. But I feel like I might be wrong here, but I feel like he only played well ever against the Vikings. But other than that, I just felt like it didn't exactly work out. I mean, he's a good depth piece, possibly a good special teamer, but I feel like, kind of a disappointment a little bit. I think he had like a 34 PFF grade overall. So I feel like you really want to find a guy that is going to be both good against the run and against the pass. There's some good linebackers in this class. There's some really good linebackers and edge players in this class, and I would be really excited to see what they can do. So I think the Lions moving forward, they need to get themselves an upgrade, whether that's through free agency or that's the draft. I don't know, but I feel like linebackers is kind of a little bit of a need for the Lions because again, it's a passer, get the passer, defend the passer over. You guys get what I'm trying to say. So I feel like, you got Alex Anzalone there. Jalen Reeves may have been there as well. So I would just like to see maybe an upgrade over Anzalone. I like Trey Flowers. I like Romeo Okora. Even though Okora might be aging out a little bit, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Trey Flowers as well. I don't remember off the top of my head. But I think moving forward, they really need to focus on getting a guy in the middle that's just a staple of that defense for a long, long time, and I'm excited to see what that brings. And overall, I think it is a good draft to do that. Lions draft need number 5 is wide receiver to my mind. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Quintez Cephas. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was a stud last year. I immediately came on, didn't immediately come on, but he really showed me, especially towards the end of the season, he's going to be a player that is going to be built. Like, they're going to build this offense around him. Guys like DeAndre Swift, Quintez Cephas, TJ Hawkinson, all those boys. So I feel like this is going to be really interesting, getting a guy, getting a team together like the Lions. But I feel like I'm still missing something, whether it's more of a deep threat or a guy that can take it to the house. You never really know. At this point, I would not care either way for the Lions if they want to go get another wide receiver a little bit later in the round. Velus Jones Jr. is a guy I think they could really go after. I'm really excited about his future. He returns kicks and punts, and he's a little bit of a deep threat too. So I think he caught like over 700 yards last year for the Volunteers, also like 5-7 touchdowns, something like that. So he's a guy in the 6th round that I think is going to have a lot of value. Maybe they get him there. Maybe they could address the position a lot earlier. I don't know. But overall, the Lions got some draft capital. They got some things working for them in their favor. So, but wide receivers should definitely be up near the top, or at least it's a need. Let's put it that way. So overall, get another guy on the outside there that not only Jared Goff or a future quarterback their future quarterback could throw to, but also a guy that you could build around for the offense moving forward. But that's it. That's what we believe the top 5 Lions draft needs to be. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome, and we love every single one of you. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, and you'll also find our link to our iTunes. Make sure you guys give us a like and a follow on social media and on iTunes. We would greatly appreciate it. And then finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the top 5 Detroit Lions draft needs.